including like actual physical that he could have incurred in financial harm. So they get into the first couple pages. Now, a couple things that we learned in this lawsuit within the first 5 pages that we didn't know. Remember when the shooting happened at Drake's home back in May?
Kendrick Lamar, which everybody seems to think that this lawsuit is about, he didn't sue Kendrick Lamar. He sued UMG, which is the biggest company that has the biggest bag, Nick. You think I ain't gonna sue Amazon if I ain't get a chance to? Me suing everybody.
The hip-hop world is on fire right now, and smack in the center of the chaos, Jim Jones and Drake, squaring up with industry powerhouses, while 50 Cent jumps in like only he can, adding fuel to flames. Jim had everybody doing a double take when he threw his full support behind Drake in a high-stakes legal war with Universal Music Group, calling a stand for every artist fighting for ownership and respect. But of course, 50 Cent couldn't sit still. He turned the whole thing into a viral moment, roasting Jim left and right. From questionable choices.
Yo, my they got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my dirt. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my like that.
To his Dipset legacy, 50 held nothing back. And just like that, the past came knocking, with Dipset drama crawling back into spotlight. Now it's diss tracks, side jabs, and a storyline straight out of a hip-hop soap opera. So how did things...
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot murder to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam.
Things explode this fast. Why is Jim riding so hard for Drake? And what's 50 really getting out of all this? Because one thing's clear, he's having the time of his life watching it all unravel. We're not even halfway through 2025, and already one of the most explosive lawsuits of the year is flipping the music industry on its head. Drake has officially filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, accusing them of quietly playing
a legal perspective. It's an interesting move on Drake's part. Notably, he's not suing Kendrick Lamar, right? He's suing Universal, which reps both of these artists.
Role in creation and promotion of Kendrick Lamar's brutal diss track, Not Like Us, a record fans instantly recognized as a direct hit on Drake. His legal squad isn't holding back, arguing that the real problem isn't just the song itself, but UMG's alleged behind-the-scenes support and the fact they profited off a track that, according to Drake, spreads harmful narratives about him by putting UMG in the legal...
Including, like actual physical that he could have incurred in financial harm. So they get into the first couple pages. Now, a couple things that we learned in this lawsuit within the first 5 pages that we didn't know. Remember when the shooting happened at Drake's home back in May?
Crosshairs. Drake isn't just defending himself. He's taking aim at the system, demanding accountability, and sending a loud message to the rest of the game. This lawsuit has cracked the music industry wide open. Some are calling Drake's move fearless, a bold power grab aimed at shaking up the label system and tipping the balance back toward artist control. But not everyone's clapping. A whole wave of critics say he's just throwing gasoline on an already blazing feud. And the fallout is far from over. The support isn't universal. Detractors argue this is a reckless leap that crosses a line between rap beef and all-out legal warfare. Still, Drake's legal team is standing 10 toes down. They insist this goes beyond diss tracks. It's about defending his name, protecting his legacy, and setting a precedent for every artist coming up next. According to them, this lawsuit is about forcing labels to own up to their actions, and they're not letting the narrative get spun. One insider close to Drake even said, he's not just doing this for himself. He's fighting for every artist who's ever been played. But when news broke that Drake was taking direct aim at one of the most powerful record companies on the planet, jaws hit.
That's very interesting, and that's going to be very operative, not only in them trying to get this dismissed, but also in the federal case subsequent. Why? Because Drake is filing for defamation. Universal's kind of playing It's a pre-card forever changed. Because now, once music gets to a certain level,
And very well said. Like everything Universal give me is up in its stuff. Yeah. It's not, yo, let's amicably see if let's have a mediator.
The floor. It wasn't just bold, it was borderline dangerous. And the clapback came fast. After reading UMG's fiery response, DJ Academics issued a warning. Drake better tread carefully, because UMG has the kind of clout that could kill this case before it ever sees a courtroom. As expected, the hip-hop world wasted no time picking sides, and Drake definitely didn't get a standing ovation from everyone. One of the loudest voices in the opposition, Joe Budden, of course, never shy with an opinion. He went straight at Drake on his podcast, calling him out for trying to wear both hats.
It's nasty, man. He, like we said, he dropped the petition and has now filed the defamation and harassment suit.
But the interesting thing in there was UMG's position, which is
the tough guy and the victim. Budden even took it a step further, labeling the whole lawsuit move as straight-up Karen behavior. And he wasn't just coming for Drake. He sounded genuinely disappointed with the way the culture is shifting. According to Budden, rap beef used to be about lyrical finesse, savage punchlines, and outsmarting your opponent on the mic. Now, he says it's just ammo for lawyers, with diss tracks getting dragged into court instead of replayed in rap battles.
Kendrick Lamar, which everybody seems to think that this lawsuit is about. He didn't sue Kendrick Lamar. He sued UMG, which is the biggest company that has the biggest bag, Nick. You think I ain't gonna sue Amazon if I ain't get a chance to? Me suing everybody.
Joe's comments hit a nerve and lit up a fresh wave of debate. Is Drake's lawsuit killing the soul of rap beef? Or is he flipping the script and turning the game into a smarter, more business-savvy arena? What's undeniable is that the split is getting wider by the minute. Right now, hip-hop's caught in a full-blown culture clash. Old-school authenticity versus new-age strategy. On one end, you got voices like Joe Budden arguing that the gritty, unfiltered essence of game is slipping away. On the other, you got heavy hitters like Jim Jones rallying behind Drake.
Tracy Morgan just caught that bag. We was happy for him, right?
Of course, those are correct. He almost lost his life.
We not gonna be happy about somebody who get a bag from one of the biggest companies that been raping everybody anyway.
Not just the drama, but because they see the lawsuit as a bold chess move aimed straight at the industry's iron grip. And Jim didn't just play cheerleader from the background. He jumped in head first. During his appearance on the Broken Frontend podcast, he made it crystal clear. This lawsuit isn't about Kendrick Lamar, no matter how it looks on the surface. The real bullseye? UMG.
On if I ain't get a chance to, me suing everybody. Any one of them companies I get a chance to playing at that level to sue for billions, I'm going for it. Are you crazy?
Jim stood 10 toes down with Drake, stressing that this legal play is way bigger than a rap battle. According to him, it's about challenging the system, not trading shots, and the impact could echo far beyond just one beef. Jim even drew parallels between Drake's bold legal move and historic celebrity wins that shook up the game. He pointed to Tracy Morgan's heavyweight settlement with Walmart as an example, calling Drake's lawsuit a power play on that same level. This ain't no rap beef, Jim said. This is about reclaiming control. This is business. This is empowerment. And Jim didn't hold back. When critics started accusing him of clout chasing, he shut it down fast, pointing out that standing up to industry giants isn't just bold, it's necessary. Moves like this spark real change, he said. On that same episode of Broken Frontend, Jim called Drake's lawsuit a James Bond-level power play. Smooth, fearless, and aimed straight at the suits behind the curtain. He laid it out in simple terms. If Drake pulls this off, it could open the gates for countless artists to finally take ownership of their music. While some still won't call it personal beef, Jim warned that the ripple effects could shake the industry to its core. His words hit hard, especially with rising artists who long felt boxed out by industry gatekeepers. But Jim wasn't finished. He called out Universal directly, blasting the label for dragging its feet and dodging accountability in the face of Drake's legal heat. The internet went wild the moment Jim backed Drake publicly. Fans praised him for standing up for creatives, though not everyone bought in. Some said it was loyalty. Others claimed it was a stunt. But Jim fired back hard, saying, If I ever get the chance to sue a company like Amazon or Universal for billions, I'm taking it. That line said it all. Jim's not here to play. When it comes to knocking down corporate giants, he's all in. The split opinions only amp things up, turning Drake's lawsuit into a lightning rod for industry-wide debate. Jim kept the pressure on, calling out exploitation and refusing to back down. And that's when 50 Cent made his move. Because if there's one thing 50 can't resist, it's stirring the pot. The second Jim threw his support behind Drake, 50 jumped in. He hit Instagram with a viral roast aimed squarely at Jim, accusing him of jumping into drama that, in 50's words, ain't got nothing to do with him. True to form, 50 laced a post with sarcasm and sharp delivery, and it exploded across social media. Suddenly, it wasn't just Drake versus UMG. 50 Cent versus Jim Jones was back on and hotter than ever. Things boiled over when Jim popped up on the premiere of Respectfully Justin, hosted by Justin the Boy. There, he addressed the jabs both 50 and Cameron had thrown at him. Jim came out swinging, laughing off the hate and saying they were on his D, even claiming he's done plenty for both of them over the years. 50 Cent wasted no time lighting up Instagram with a savage response. He went straight for the jugular, digging up 2019 court transcripts from the explosive Tekashi 6ix9ine trial. In full troll mode, 50 revived a long-running rumor that Jim Jones was Individual One, the mysterious name that popped up during the case, allegedly tied to someone with insider knowledge. It's one of 50's favorite nicknames to throw at Jim every time their feud heats up. And this time, he didn't hold back, with a brutal caption that read, "I know you working, so please don't say gangster _ to me, Individual One." 50 delivered a cutting blow that was classic him, petty, precise, and impossible to ignore. But of course, one post wasn't enough. 50 came back swinging with a follow-up that set the internet ablaze. He dropped what he claimed was paperwork linked to a wiretap call, allegedly catching Jim talking strategy about Tekashi and the so-called three-way crew. In true 50 fashion, he pushed the narrative hard, that Jim was the only one from that group who somehow dodged arrest, hinting heavily that it might not have been by chance. The implication? Jim had some kind of deal with the feds. 50 doubled down, alleging that the leaked audio featured Jim mapping out moves around 6ix9ine, the same 6ix9ine who flipped and testified in a sweeping federal case. The fact that Jim skated free without a charge? 50 said it smells fishy. And as if that wasn't enough, he switched gears and went for the jugular again, telling Jim to stop worrying about Drake's lawsuit and start fixing things with Cameron, dragging years-old Dipset drama back into the spotlight. That jab hit deep. It cracked open old wounds that were barely scabbed over. Just like that, long-buried tension between Jim and his Dipset brothers exploded back onto the scene. And Cam? He wasn't letting it ride. On a fiery episode of it is what it is, Cameron unloaded on Jim, no filters. He took fans down memory lane, exposing betrayal after betrayal that, according to him, never got resolved. At the heart of it all, Cam said Jim picking side with 50 during the legendary Dipset versus G-Unit beef in the mid-2000s was the ultimate betrayal. He didn't sugarcoat a thing, flat out saying that rift never healed. And just to twist the knife deeper, Cam questioned Jim's Harlem credentials altogether, implying Jim wasn't really from the streets like he claims. That episode made one thing crystal clear. The tension between Cameron and Jim Jones runs way deeper than your average rap beef. This isn't just about music or clout. It's personal. Cam didn't just question Jim's loyalty. He came for his entire identity. He mocked Jim's claims of repping Harlem, saying he looked more like a guardian angel in designer clothes than a real street figure. Then came a line that lit up social media. "You from the Bronx, bro, not Harlem." That jab went viral in seconds. But Cam wasn't done. He took things back to the early Dipset days, painting Jim not as a founding member, but as a wide-eyed fan desperate to be down. According to Cam, Jim used to hang around catching their freestyles, inviting them over just to be part of the scene. Not out of genuine respect, but out of straight-up fandom. That cut deep and added even more gas to the fire. Then Cam really turned up the heat by diving into the vaults and bringing up a story many fans had never heard. An alleged encounter with the infamous Black Mafia family, BMF. He didn't mince words, asking flat out if Jim ever told the full story about what went down. Cam claimed Jim was so spooked he dove into the ocean to escape, framing the moment as a retreat, not a stand. It was a bold call-out, meant to shake up Jim's tough guy image and expose a side of him that rarely, if ever, gets talked about. That was a harsh blow for someone known for his tough guy image. Backing up Cam's claims was none other than Dame Dash, who stepped in to say he personally witnessed Jim crossing the line. Dame shared a story about Jim allegedly trying to come between him and his woman at Dame's art gallery, a move Dame described as completely out of bounds and shook him to his core, while Cam tried to downplay the incident. Saying he usually avoids airing dirty laundry out of respect for Jim, his tone revealed there's still some deep bitterness simmering beneath the surface. This episode reminded fans that while Dipset's legacy is legendary, it's also tangled in pride, tension, and grudges that run deep. And this latest drama is far from isolated. The friction between Cam and Jim has been boiling for years, and 50 Cent's recent jab about fixing Dipset only added fuel to the fire. Cam's never shied away from calling Jim out, accusing him of betrayal for siding with 50 during the infamous mid-2000s Dipset versus Gina beef. Their history is full of public makeups followed by private clashes, with Cam constantly questioning Jim's leadership, loyalty, and decisions within Dipset. But Jim hasn't stayed quiet either. He fired back hard, blaming Cam's ego for holding Dipset back and costing the group key opportunities. And he's not afraid to say it. Naturally, Cam didn't let that slide, responding with more digs at Jim's Harlem credentials and keeping the feud alive and fiery. Meanwhile, fans are worn out by the constant back and forth. All they want is a true Dipset reunion. Right now, that dream feels more distant than ever. Even Jules Santana stepped into drama, not to pick sides, but call a full-blown family feud. He admitted he can't mediate between them, leaving Dipset's future hanging by a thread. Jules has tried to stay neutral, expressing disappointment over the situation after everything they built together. He values their brotherhood, but admits he's no peacemaker, and that has fans wondering if anyone can actually mend this divide. His words hit home for the fan base, mixing nostalgia for Dipset's glory days with frustration at watching the group spiral deeper into drama instead of progress. Jim isn't letting 50's trolling slide either. Rumor has it even locked in the studio, crafting diss tracks aimed at both Cam and 50. It's a bold move that could either reignite Dipset in a messy way or blow the split even wider open. This all follows Jim's recent comments telling Cam and 50 to back off during an appearance on Justin LeBoy's Respectfully podcast, where he addressed 50's trolling, and his spot on Cam's talk show, Talk with Flea. Jim's message was clear. He's not stepping away from this fight anytime soon. If those diss tracks drop, they could bring back that old school rap battle energy, the kind that took fans back to when music was a real battlefield, not just Instagram clapbacks and shady comments. It would remind everyone of a time when beef got settled on wax, not in comment sections. But Jim's next move suggests he's thinking bigger than just lyrical warfare. Word is, he's quietly prepping a fresh merch campaign tied to Dipset's legacy, a smart way to turn all this heat into cash. This isn't just about throwing shots at Cam and 50. It's about keeping Dipset's brand alive, cashing in on nostalgia, and proving the logo still holds serious weight in the streets and beyond. Just when things seemed like they couldn't get messier, new whispers started swirling, and now the whole rap game is watching. Industry insiders say 50 Cent might be lining up a surprise collaboration with none other than Kendrick Lamar, the same Kendrick whose diss track sparked Drake's lawsuit. If true, this would be a strategic move to escalate the feud into a full-blown war. Rumor has it 50's been working in the studio with top producers on something that could bring a fresh angle to the beef. If Kendrick is involved, it sends a clear message. He's not sitting on the sidelines while Drake battles UMG. He's turning up the heat. Fans are already speculating the track will be loaded with subliminal shots aimed at both Drake and Jim Jones. Meanwhile, Jim has been making big moves in New York, reportedly meeting promoters and business executives about a potential Dipset anniversary tour. But here's the twist. Word is Cam hasn't been approached yet. That detail alone has fans wondering if Jim is planning a Dipset-branded tour without the full original lineup. If that's true, it could split the fan base even further and make a real reunion nearly impossible. As all this unfolds publicly, the social media shots haven't stopped. 50 keeps posting cryptic captions with old Dipset throwbacks, tagging individual one just to stir the pot. Jim, on the other hand, is reposting fan clips hyping him up, clearly feeding off the energy, good or bad. This next chapter feels like it's heading for a breaking point. Between whispered collaborations, possible diss tracks, and behind-the-scenes business moves, everyone is bracing for the next big moment. One thing's certain. In 2025, this isn't just a feud anymore. It's a chess match for legacy, power, and the final word. Jim Jones' decision to back Drake hasn't just sparked headlines. It's reopened old wounds and added fuel to fresh fires. What began as one man standing up against a music giant has exploded into a full-scale storm, with 50 Cent gleefully stirring the chaos and Dipset's internal conflicts boiling over. Now the question is bigger than Drake's lawsuit. It's about loyalty, legacy, and whether Dipset's fractures can ever be healed. Will Jim's bold move force the industry to change? Or will it seal the group's fate and deepen the split for good? Right now, Dipset's future hangs by a thread. The lines are drawn, shots have been fired, and the entire hip-hop world is watching to see what happens next. And that's where you come in. We want to hear from you. Was Jim right to stand shoulder to shoulder with Drake? Or did he cross a line that's only making the divide permanent? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see where you stand on this wild ride. If you've been feeling this deep dive, don't just scroll past. Smash that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe so you never miss a beat when the next chapter drops. Trust me, you'll want to be here for it. Because in our very next video, we're diving into 50 Cent's latest industry moves, the ones shaking the power structure from the inside out. You'll see who's in his sights, how he's playing the game, and why this could change hip-hop forever in 2025. So go ahead, tap that next video on your screen for more celebrity drama, wild receipts, and the stories they don't want you to hear.